let's have a sneak peek on one of the most thrilling series, Squid Game Season 3. This game included the toughest challenge, which was a twisted game of jump rope, a childhood memory turned into a brutal test of life and death. All contestants were forced to skip rope while crossing a narrow plank bridge suspended over a pit dozens of meters deep. They had 20 minutes to make it across to the other side. Beep, beep, beep. The countdown began. That choice alone stunned the watching investors. They couldn't understand why a former champion would return to such a deadly game. When contestant 456 reached the middle of the bridge, a terrifying gap suddenly appeared before him. Amid the roaring screams of the audience, he seized the moment and leaped, barely clearing the gap, and became the first contestant to pass this stage. But his success triggered a chain reaction of chaos. The second person to pass decided to guard the bridge's entrance, ambushing others to keep them from crossing. His plan was simple. If everyone else died, he would automatically advance to the next round and split the 4.54 billion yuan prize with contestant 456 alone. The bridge instantly turned into a no-man's land, with a killer blocking the way forward, a deep pit waiting behind. The players were trapped, unable to advance, unable to retreat. As time passed and exhaustion took its toll, contestants began falling into the pit one by one. In a desperate moment, an elderly man, his hair already white, offered a deal to the ambusher. "Let me pass, and I'll help you stop the others. I'll even give you half my prize money." Meanwhile, a woman collapsed from fatigue and tried to retreat, only to be blocked by the player behind her. The narrow bridge allowed no room to turn around. No one dared to risk it. At the same time, the killer prepared to push player 456 into the abyss and claim the prize for himself. But on the far side of the bridge, a young couple erupted into a violent argument. Just moments earlier in the game, the woman had given birth to their child. But then she saw her boyfriend coldly kill the teammate who had sacrificed himself to protect them. Now, she rolled up her pants and exposed a swollen ankle, glaring at her boyfriend with a mixture of pain and contempt. That injury was why she couldn't complete the current jump rope challenge. And that's why she entrusted her baby to player 456. Yet the man, her child's father, had still chosen to abandon them without hesitation. Seizing the moment, player 456 overpowered the bridge blocker and cleared a path for the rest of the players. Eventually, most of the contestants made it safely across. Only one person remained, the young mother. Fighting back tears, she looked at player 456 from across the bridge. Suddenly, voices emerged. "She's just trying to gain sympathy. She's playing everyone. She's a manipulative woman. Don't let her pass. She doesn't deserve to go through." With that, she slowly walked to the edge of the deep pit. Tears shimmered in her eyes as she took her final step, a selfless act of sacrifice. As the announcement echoed, contestant 22 has been eliminated. The brutal game once again revealed the darkest and brightest sides of human nature. Most players had exposed their selfishness and cruelty when facing death, but the mother's heroic sacrifice for her child shone like a beam of light in the darkness, revealing the most noble glow of humanity. At the end of the game, after enduring countless trials and overcoming one deadly challenge after another, only two contestants remained: Lee Myungi, the child's father, and contestant 456. With the infant in his arms, they finally reached the towering summit that pierced the clouds. According to the brutal rules of the game, one of them now had to be pushed off the tower to their death. Only the survivor would pass and win the enormous cash prize. To everyone's shock, Lee Myungi suddenly picked up the baby from the ground, intending to throw his own flesh and blood off the tower. Without hesitation, contestant 456 lunged at him. The two men began to fight fiercely at the edge of the high tower. In the heat of the struggle, both lost their balance and tumbled off the edge. By a stroke of luck, contestant 456 managed to grab hold of an exposed steel bar on the side of the tower, avoiding the deadly fall into the pit of crocodiles below. Lee Myungi, however, only managed to cling to the other man's clothes. But the fabric couldn't bear the weight. With a heart-wrenching rip, his grip tore through the cloth, and he plummeted to his death. Straining every muscle, contestant 456 climbed back up to the tower. But when he got there, despair hit him as he had taken too long. The rules had changed. Now, he faced a cruel choice. Between him and the baby, only one could survive. In this suffocating moment, he looked straight at the screen, behind which the cold-hearted, filthy rich elites were watching. He uttered his final words, "We are not horses, we are humans." And with that, he threw himself off the tower, choosing death so the child could live. That final act of compassion, even in the face of such evil, became a powerful symbol. Despite being trapped in a dehumanizing game, he never lost his humanity. His sacrifice became a weapon of spirit against a game designed to crush souls. He was like every rebel across time, those who refused to kneel, even knowing their resistance might be in vain. They stood up anyway, with nothing but flesh and blood, to fight back. His death was not in vain. It became a powerful, heartbreaking anthem of human dignity. This wasn't the first time contestant 456 had entered the game. He'd been here before, drowning in gambling debts, unable to afford treatment for his sick mother, and stripped of custody of his daughter. A mysterious organization had lured him in with the promise of 45.6 billion won, along with 455 other broken souls. But this time was different. He came back not for money, but for justice. He had uncovered the truth. This game was orchestrated by the powerful to use the lives of the poor as entertainment. So he returned, determined to destroy it from within, even if it cost him his life. From a desperate man risking everything to survive, he became a warrior, willing to die for what was right. A month later, a police officer who had long been investigating the game returned home to find a baby lying on his bed. Draped across the baby's body was a tracksuit with the number 222. On top was a black envelope. Opening it quickly, the officer found a business card inside. The number 222 marked the winner. Confused, he looked again at the baby, unsure of what to do. Inside the envelope was also a black debit card. After a moment of hesitation, he took it to a nearby ATM. Entering 222 as the PIN, the screen flashed. Password correct. Then, a jaw-dropping number appeared on the screen. Even this seasoned officer couldn't believe his eyes. Meanwhile, across the ocean in Los Angeles, the organizers of the game located contestant 456's daughter, who had been taken from him years ago. They handed her a black gift box. Disgusted, the girl refused it, saying she didn't want anything to do with the father she hadn't seen in years. As she was about to shut the door, the staff member told her the truth. Her father was dead. Shocked, guilt washed over her face. After a pause, she finally accepted the box. Inside was a blood-stained tracksuit with the number 456, silently telling the story of all the pain and battles he had endured. Also inside, a black envelope with a debit card was her father's final gift to her. Her heart sank. Back in the city, as the staff member drove away and waited at a red light, he happened to glance down a nearby alley. There, he saw a well-dressed woman playing the card slap game with a homeless man. When he lost, she slapped him hard across the face. In that chilling moment, the staff member and the woman locked eyes. His heart sank. He immediately realized the cruel game had already spread like a virus across the seas. It was now infecting every corner of the world, and no one knew how many more lives would be dragged into its darkness, or what tragic stories were still waiting to unfold. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to Movie Girl for more amazing videos.